Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Why Is This a Podcast? My guest on this episode is an actor, musician, writer you know from Torchwood, Doctor Who, Casualty, among many other things. He's an actor of stage and screen, and I'm very, very happy to have him. Please welcome Wales's sweetheart, Mr. Gareth David Lloyd. Gareth, nice to
Oh,
see you.
thanks, mate. Nice to see you too.
Massive fan of your work. As you know, obviously, I love you in Torchwood. I love you in Doctor Who. My mother and my grandmother both love you in Casualty. I don't watch it, I'm afraid. And
I was only in it for a few episodes. Well, it
like,
depends which character. In fact, every character I played in Casualty has only been in for a couple of episodes or one episode.
I know, yeah, because
I've
you've
never
been
been
in
a
it
regular.
several times, haven't you? Playing different
Yeah, well,
roles.
I've been in Casualty twice and Holby City once, so all as different characters. So it's
As you know, because I told you this before, I saw you do Cat on a Hot Tin Roof at the new theatre in Cardiff, and I
Mhm.
flattered you by, and it wasn't a convoluted bid to get you to come on my podcast, but I did tell you I thought that you were better than Paul Newman in the film. But you know,
Yeah.
you were great in that, and I mean, how are you coping with lockdown? Because you know, performers in general, you know, like an audience, has it been a massive adjustment for you? Have you been able to cope with it okay?
I'm supposed to be finishing a run of the Corners Green at the National Theatre in London, which was like a dream job for me. So when that got pulled for a while at least, and that was a bit of a blow. But I'm trying not to get too sort of too sorry for myself, again, because there are thousands, millions of people that it's affected a lot worse than me. So I'm trying to think about the people who it's really affected, the people who've lost people, people who've been really ill, people who aren't in a position to do sort of podcasts and radio drama from home, actors who are in that situation where they haven't got the equipment or the money to get the equipment or the support. So yeah, it's been a blow, but I'm trying to sort of focus on the people that it's really affected rather than myself. Hopefully for myself, it'll things will things will pick up soon. I mean, I don't think anything before summer next year if the play goes again. But there have been opportunities for me with as far as Big Finish goes, doing the Torchwood audio dramas, which has helped and kept things sort of ticking along. But yeah, it's a very ambiguous, sort of scary time for
It's very,
a
very,
lot of
yeah,
people.
no, it's a very strange time. I do like that sort of that attitude of, you know, yeah, it sucks, but it could be worse. And I think that that's an admirable attitude. And I mean, I know that you're very, you know, passionate about the theatre and the stage. I know that you love performing there. And one of the things that I did want to touch on with this conversation that we're having, that I'm so lucky to be having, um, is sort of the disruption of the pandemic to the arts and entertainment, because I think people think, oh, it's just a bunch of rich people who can't, you know, have their egos stroked for a couple of months or a year or so. And it's like, it's more than that. It's the stage hands, the floor managers. It's
Yeah, the majority of freelancers in theatre and film are not rich people. They rely on their income to
and they've
survive. So
lost it.
that would be that would be a very misguided opinion. Yeah, like I said, there's so many people going through like real hardships because of the huge close down of the arts. I mean, especially in London, which is sort of still the sort of hub, especially with theatre, for the arts. There's so many people going through a really, really horrible time.
It is awful, and I do want to kind of embarrass you a bit here because I've got your Twitter feed.
Oh,
Um,
well, so maybe if I've tweeted it, then and I haven't deleted it, then you're not going to embarrass me.
well, I mean, I've got, so this is from 22 hours ago. Breaking. In a desperate move to combat coronavirus, pubs in Wales told they cannot stay open any later than they did in the 90s. From the 11th of September, you tweeted, breaking. Refusal to wear face masks in busy shopping areas linked to being a massive effing arsehole. You okay, hun?
I'm fine, mate. I just get annoyed, especially it was strange. It's just a few days that busy shopping centre that I was in that inspired that tweet was Caerphilly. I was in Caerphilly town, and I was I was appalled to see like the majority of people that were wearing face masks are the people that you know, the rest of us are supposed to be wearing face masks to protect. And you find a lot of elderly, disabled people wearing them, but not many young, able-bodied. The coronavirus won't touch me, twats.
Yeah.
And then this sort of missing the point or refusing to see the point, and that angers me a great deal. I should have said, I think I upset a couple of people with that tweet. I should have said, obviously, the people who are exempt from wearing face coverings for emotional or physical reasons, that obviously doesn't apply to those. It's those who make a choice not to wear a face mask because the whole fucking thing has nothing to do with them. Sorry for swearing.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's just it's not a political thing. It's a scientific thing. It's a medically proven thing that wearing face masks will help stop the spread of coronavirus. So that just that piece of information should inspire people to stop being so narcissistic and just put a fucking mask on it.
I mean, I spoke episode 2. I spoke to Gil Bash from New Jersey, who he's a Fitting Partners, and we were talking about, COVID-19 came up a lot. Obviously, I don't think there's a conversation that's had anywhere in the world at the moment where COVID-19 doesn't come up.
Yeah.
He just ran off the litany at one point saying about, well, wash your hands, wear a face mask, physically distance. If you can't physically distance, then definitely wear a mask. And you're completely right in what you're saying, that it should, it's not political. It's that literally a thing of be a decent human being, and if you're asked to, put a bloody mask on.
Yeah.
And people, there are some people who I think like to be deliberately dense about it and go, well, I shouldn't have to. It's my right. And it's like, no, it's the law.
Yeah. I think that's where things are getting blurred, whether it's through vanity or sociopathy or just plain narcissism. The fact is, wearing a mask and washing your hands and social distancing is going to help stop the spread of the disease.
Mentioning no specific current US presidents.
Yeah. So just, yeah, if you're happy being an arsehole, then you're happy being an arsehole. But I will point you out. I will expose you.
Oh God,
if I see you.
That was bloody ominous. Bloody hell.
Well, you know what I mean. I will.
Is that
I
from
will,
your
I
like
will,
audition for Taken?
I will call it if I see it.
The COVID-19 remake of Taken.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah,
not wearing
yeah.
if you're not wearing a mask, I will find you.
I will find you. I will hunt you down, and I will,
Give you a telling
at a
off.
safe, at a safe distance, give you a piece of my mind.
I mean, so you mentioned to me that you were sort of working on um, something with your old band, Blue Gillespie.
Well, it's with one of the members of
One of them.
Blue Gillespie, one other member of Blue Gillespie. I don't want to give too much
Yeah.
away, but we have been quietly working on some things. The musicians have been working on some riffs and some tunes, and I've been working on putting some melodies and some lyrics
Are you
over those
auditioning for
tunes
Eurovision?
via over the internet. Oh, were you auditioning for Eurovision?
Yeah.
Um, I'd
Legally, you
nothing is off
can't
the
tell.
table, you know.
Legally, come on,
um,
Gareth. We need a Welshman to win the Eurovision Song Contest. It's the only way we're ever going to get independence.
yeah, it's always just Britain, isn't it? Isn't never.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a Welsh or Scottish or Irish entry into the
No,
Ireland, possibly?
I think
I
Ireland
don't.
won it
Don't
for
know.
several years in a row, I think, and I think it was the plot of an episode of Father Ted.
Or they're good singers in Ireland.
No, I'm glad that because I know you like music. I know you like your music, and I'm glad you're getting back into it. Um, have you ever thought of doing musical theatre?
Well, I have. I got my agent.
Oh, you have.
I've got my first agent through. I played Mac the Knife in the Threepenny Opera in the Lyric Hammersmith. That's how I got my first agent. So I've done musical theatre, but I would describe myself more as an actor who will have a go at a song rather than someone that specialises in musical theatre. I like to hold a tune. I'm more of a vocalist than a
Yeah,
singer.
I
so,
get, I
and so,
get.
so I can vocalize in tune for the most part. And you know, character songs, I feel much more comfortable with character songs rather than songs that require perfect notes
Well, I look forward to your.
and vocal
Yeah,
discipline.
I look forward to your victory at the Brit Awards, depending
Thanks,
on
mate. Thanks.
depending on what your next project is. I know there's not a lot that you can tell me about. I do want to come to sort of something quite personal to me because episode 2 I paid um, tribute at the start before I started to interview Gil to the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg of the U.S. Supreme Court. Um, and I mentioned in that sort of my personal admiration of her for her role in fighting for, among many things, LGBTQ plus equality. No, I know
Mm-hmm.
in Torchwood and Doctor Who, of course, you play Yanto Jones, who is the partner of Captain Jack Harkness, played by the great John Barrowman. Did you ever feel any pressure being sort of, because this was at a time when LGBT representation on television was kind of this emerging thing? Did you ever feel any pressure as being kind of an LGBT icon?
No, not at all. I mean, the fact that Yanto had some flirtation with the lead role when I first got the job, my first regular dream TV job. I was over the moon because it meant I got screen time with number one, the main actor, the and when they got into a relationship at the end of season 2, season 3, again it was like, oh, I'm gonna get more lines now because because my character's in a relationship with the lead. So not really. I mean, I was aware it was happening. I went to a few conventions, and people come up to the desk and say, "Oh, thank you so much." Yanto and Jack's relationship helped me connect to my parents. Because it was helped me stop being ashamed, and which was lovely. When you're going to get comments like that, it's really nice to think that work you've done
It,
has had
it helped me.
a positive effect. Oh, thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. Work you've done has had a positive effect on people's lives. But I wasn't conscious of it in the sort of playing and in the work itself. I just very much enjoyed playing it and doing it. I didn't feel any pressure at all, really. I just felt like I had to be true to the character, and it's the same with every other job I take on, and
I mean,
enjoy it as much as I can.
and I think that's refreshing to hear. I mean, for me, one of the most moving scenes of Torchwood. I mean, spoiler alert to anyone who hasn't seen Torchwood, but to be fair, it started in 2006. If you haven't seen it yet, where the hell have you been? But anyway, one of the most moving scenes for me is season 3, Children of Earth, where Yanto is with his sister, um, played by the great Katie Wicks, if I'm not mistaken. I think. And
That's correct. Yeah.
and she says to him, "Well, we saw you having dinner with another man," and it's kind of like the first time that he kind of tells his family that he's in a same-sex relationship, and the way that you and her both handle it was very powerful. And for me, that is one of the most moving scenes of the series from a LGBT point of view, especially considering, spoiler alert again, that Yanto dies later on in season 3. But I'm glad that you didn't feel any pressure. I'm glad that you feel proud.
I love the way that scene was written as well, because it wasn't about Yanto being gay. It was about him not telling them earlier, him not telling her earlier. So why didn't you tell us? Well, why didn't you tell us? And
I
then
think, I
and
think
then
so many people could relate to
yeah,
about that.
yeah, which was lovely. It's so easy to write sort of working class people as homophobic. And I mean, I think his brother-in-law comes in and gives him a little gif about, oh, we've been taken up the arse, but it's it's not in a not in a
It's not in a nasty way.
it's not in a bullyish way. No, it's not a bullish way.
If anything, it's kind of a kind way. Because I think like sort of working class communities like Yanto's, taking the piss is kind of how we express affection.
Yeah, and we do it with everything. It's not it's not just our relationships. We do it with everything. And it's
from my coming out experience, that was a big part of my coming out experience. Was kind of people, taking the mick with me and saying, "Oh, that was a big part." And I know it's not far from being everybody's experience in working class communities, but I'm one of the lucky ones in the sense that when I came out, my family did accept it in large part, and that was, and so like we were just saying, and taking the piss was a big part of that. It's a sign of affection. I think with my uncle, for example, that was a part of it with him, and I think there was something just so authentic about that scene. I'm glad that you take pride in it, because I know that there are some actors I've seen make comments in the press. I mean, I won't name any in case I've misinterpreted them, but where they say, "Oh, I do see it as kind of a burden." But I'm glad that you don't. I think it's very nice.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Testament to how nice you are as a person.
Oh, thanks, mate. Thank you.
Great talking to you. It always is. I hope you'll come back on in the future, and best of luck with
Of course I would, mate. Yeah.
Big Finish. Best of luck with Blue Gillespie. Best of luck with. I hope that you're able to get back on the stage.
I will say, as far as the music goes, it will. I'm not going to spoil anything yet, but it won't be under the name of Blue Gillespie because
right.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fair to do that unless
It was
we were all back together. Yeah, so it's going to be it's a new project.
Loyalty without question.
Yeah.
I mean, I would offer my services, but I can barely play the triangle.
You can come do some harmonies, mate.
I can't
play the synth.
I can't do harmonies. I'm not gonna.
No.
No, I hate it. I don't hate music. I like music. I hated music in school.
All right. The pressure of having to make music.
I'll do karaoke with the right amount of alcohol, but aside from that, the final thing I wanted to ask you is, you and I believe, share the same alma mater of Crosskeys College, Coleg Gwent.
Yes.
Where we both, I believe, studied A-level drama.
No, I did for no, did I? I did. I studied an A-level English lit there while I was doing a BTEC in performing arts. And I think I was going to do the I did a couple of classes at the A-level, and I was having too much fun being a teenager and getting drunk and stoned and over the bandstand to take on that extra session. So I think I abandoned it.
Gareth David Lloyd is an actor, writer, musician, and as I said before, Wales's sweetheart. Great to have him. Great to have you, sir. Thanks so much. See you again.
Kerean. Thanks, mate. Take care. Bye.
Join us for episode 4 of Why Is This a Podcast, where I will continue to try to answer that exact question. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy. Goodbye.